Patagonia is a name that conjures visions of boundless wilderness, where the land itself seems to stretch to the very edge of the world. Here, the scenery is a symphony of contrasts. Vast, open plains give way to towering mountains, and the silence is broken only by the wind and the distant call of wild creatures. This immense region sprawls across the southernmost reaches of South America, encompassing a mosaic of environments that span from the windswept Atlantic coast to the jagged spine of the Andes. The landmass is so vast that it covers an area greater than many European nations combined, yet it remains one of the most pristine and untouched places on Earth. Patagonia is not defined by human boundaries or settlements, but by the elemental forces that have shaped it for millennia. The terrain is raw and untamed, a testament to the relentless power of wind, water, and time. The wind is Patagonia's most enduring presence, sweeping across the land with astonishing force. It sculpts the trees into fantastical shapes, bends the grasses low, and carries the scent of distant glaciers. Gusts can exceed 60 miles per hour, creating a landscape in perpetual motion. The climate here is famously unpredictable. In a single day, the sky can shift from radiant blue to stormy grey, with sunlight giving way to hail or snow in moments. These dramatic weather changes are a constant reminder of nature's supremacy in this remote wilderness. The sheer scale and emptiness of Patagonia are awe-inspiring. The steppe stretches for hundreds of miles, a sea of golden grasses and low shrubs, broken only by the distant silhouette of mountains or the glint of a hidden lake. Across these plains, the land is punctuated by salt flats, volcanic outcrops, and the remnants of ancient geological upheavals. The silence is profound, broken only by the whisper of wind and the occasional cry of a soaring raptor. Patagonia's wildlife is as resilient as the land itself. Guanacos, wild relatives of the llama, roam the open steppe in small herds, while the elusive Patagonian fox slips silently through the underbrush. Overhead, the mighty Andean condor rides the thermals, its wings casting shadows over the cliffs below. In the wetlands and lagoons, flocks of flamingos paint the water pink, while Darwin's rhea, an ostrich-like bird, dashes across the grasslands. After rare rains, the steppe bursts into color with wildflowers and orchids, a fleeting display of life in an otherwise harsh environment. The land is crisscrossed by ancient geological features, petrified forests, wind-carved rocks, and gravel tracks that seem to lead into infinity. The sense of isolation is profound, with only the vastness of the steppe and the distant peaks for company. Patagonia is home to some of the world's most spectacular glacial landscapes. Turquoise lakes, fed by ancient rivers of ice, shimmer beneath the mountains. Waterfalls tumble from mossy cliffs, and icebergs drift silently across the surface of glacier-fed lagoons. The glaciers themselves are colossal, their blue-white faces towering above the land. They creak and groan as they move, carving deep fjords and valleys, and feeding the rivers and lakes that sustain the region's unique ecosystems. Over millennia, these glaciers have sculpted the land into a dramatic tableau of fjords, spires, and crystalline lakes. The granite towers of the Andes rise abruptly from the plains, their reflections mirrored in the still, icy waters below. Meltwater from the glaciers feeds countless rivers and lakes, their vibrant blues and greens a striking contrast to the muted tones of the steppe. These waterways carve through the land, nourishing pockets of lush vegetation and supporting a surprising diversity of life. The environment changes with astonishing speed. In just a few miles, the landscape can shift from arid grasslands to dense forests, from windswept plains to lush river valleys, each with its own distinct character and inhabitants. In the west, temperate rainforests thrive, nourished by relentless rain and mist. Here, ancient trees are draped in moss, and the air is thick with the scent of earth and growing things. Ferns and lichens carpet the forest floor, creating a world of green and shadow. Travel east, and the forest gives way to the arid steppe, a realm of hardy shrubs, thorny bushes, and sun-bleached rocks. The wind here is relentless, and only the most resilient plants survive, their roots digging deep into the rocky soil. Despite the harshness, Patagonia's flora is remarkably diverse. The iconic caliphate bush produces bright yellow flowers and deep blue berries, while wild lupines and cushion plants add bursts of color to the landscape, especially after the rare but transformative rains. In autumn, the southern beech forests ignite in shades of red and gold, their leaves carpeting the ground in a fiery mosaic. Fungi and lichens thrive in the damp, decomposing wood, playing a vital role in the forest's cycle of renewal. The region's fauna is equally adapted to the extremes. The elusive Patagonian puma moves silently through the grasslands, while hares and owls emerge at dusk. In the wetlands, dragonflies and frogs thrive, their lives closely tied to the rhythms of water and weather. As night falls, the Patagonian sky comes alive with stars. The Milky Way stretches from horizon to horizon, and on rare occasions, the southern lights shimmer above the plains. The air grows cold, and the sounds of nocturnal creatures echo across the vast, silent land. With each new day, Patagonia reveals another facet of its wild beauty, a land sculpted by wind and water, defined by its extremes, and alive with the quiet resilience of its plants and animals. This is a place where nature reigns supreme, and the untamed spirit of the wilderness endures in every stone, every river, and every gust of wind. In the heart of Chilean Patagonia, the granite giants of Torres del Paine rise with silent authority, their sheer faces sculpted by eons of geological transformation. These mountains are the result of ancient magma intrusions forced upward from the Earth's mantle, then slowly revealed as relentless glaciers carved away the softer rock. The iconic Torres' three monumental granite spires stand as enduring testaments to the power of tectonic uplift and glacial erosion, their summits reaching over 9,000 feet into the Patagonian sky. Glacial activity has left its mark on every surface, etching striations and polishing the rock, while cirques and U-shaped valleys bear witness to the slow, grinding passage of ancient ice. At dawn, the granite faces ignite in hues of pink and orange, a fleeting display shaped by the region's ever-changing weather patterns. Patagonia's climate is famously unpredictable. Fierce winds sweep across the steppe, sculpting clouds into dramatic formations and bringing sudden shifts from sun to storm. The mountains preside over a mosaic of ecosystems, from windswept grasslands to dense lenga forests, each adapted to the region's harsh conditions. Turquoise glacial lakes, colored by suspended rock flour, reflect the peaks and provide vital habitat for aquatic life. Waterfalls, fed by melting snow and ice, thunder into deep valleys, nourishing the land below. Vast ice fields and glaciers stretch to the horizon, their slow movement shaping the landscape and feeding the region's rivers. The wildlife here is uniquely adapted to the extremes. Herds of guanacos graze the open steppe, their thick coats insulating them from biting winds. These agile herbivores are a keystone species, shaping the grasslands and providing sustenance for elusive predators. Above, the Andean condor rides the thermals, its vast wingspan casting shadows over the granite towers as it searches for carrion. The region's avian diversity is remarkable, with caracaras, upland geese, and flamingos inhabiting the varied terrain. In the wetlands and along the fjords, waterfowl thrive, taking advantage of the nutrient-rich waters fed by glacial melt. The interplay of geology, weather, and wildlife creates a dynamic equilibrium, where each element is shaped by and shapes the others. Here, the granite giants stand as silent witnesses to the ongoing dance of natural forces, their presence both ancient and ever-changing. Each season brings new challenges, howling winter winds, summer rains, and the constant threat of sudden storms, shaping the survival strategies of every living thing. The landscape is in perpetual flux, with glaciers advancing and retreating, rivers shifting course, and weather patterns rewriting the rules of existence. In this realm, the Granite Mountains are more than scenery. They are the architects of Patagonia's wild character, shaping climate, water, and life itself. Their enduring presence is a reminder of the immense geological forces at work and of the delicate balance that sustains this untamed wilderness. The granite giants of Chilean Patagonia remain timeless, guardians of a landscape where geology, weather, and wildlife converge in a spectacle of raw, natural beauty. Here, nature's forces are on full display, untamed, unpredictable, and utterly magnificent. In the wild expanse of Chilean Patagonia, the Carretera Austral unfurls like a ribbon through a land untouched by time. This legendary road weaves through a tapestry of ecosystems, each more breathtaking than the last. The highway carves its way through vast stretches of temperate rainforest, where ancient trees tower overhead and thick moss carpets the forest floor. Ferns unfurl in the cool shade, and the air is alive with the calls of unseen birds. Along its route, the Carretera Austral skirts the edges of crystalline rivers, their turquoise waters fed by glaciers high in the Andes. These rivers rush through deep gorges, their banks lined with wildflowers and dense undergrowth. The landscape shifts constantly. One moment the road hugs the base of snow-capped peaks, the next it winds through valleys shrouded in mist and silence. Here forests of lenga and coihue trees stretch as far as the eye can see, their leaves shimmering in the wind. The undergrowth teems with life. Foxes slip silently between the shadows, and the elusive huemul deer grazes in hidden clearings. Waterfalls tumble from sheer cliffs, their spray nourishing a lush world of mosses and lichens. The sound of rushing water is a constant companion, echoing through the valleys and forests. The Carretera Austral crosses wild rivers on narrow suspension bridges, their turquoise currents swirling below, home to otters and schools of native fish. The road skirts the edges of deep fjords, where the Andes plunge into the Pacific, and the forests grow thick and ancient, sheltering a chorus of birds, woodpeckers, kingfishers, and the haunting call of the chukao tapaculo. In the open spaces, condors soar on thermal winds, their massive wings casting shadows over the land. The silence is broken only by the distant rumble of glaciers carving and the whisper of the wind through the grasslands. The Carretera Austral reveals a world where nature reigns supreme, a mosaic of rainforests, ice fields, and wild rivers, each ecosystem supporting a web of life found nowhere else on Earth. In the heart of the Aysén region, the wilderness stretches to the horizon. Here the forests are dense and impenetrable, the rivers wild and untamed, and the mountains stand as silent guardians over the land. The solitude is profound, the beauty raw and elemental. Mist drifts across the valleys, and the ever-changing light paints the landscape in shades of blue and green. The Carretera Austral is a living corridor, connecting a patchwork of ecosystems, temperate rainforests, sprawling ice fields, intricate fjords, and windswept steppes, each alive with its own unique flora and fauna. In this untouched wilderness, the presence of wildlife is everywhere. The flash of a Magellanic woodpecker, the silent glide of a black-necked swan, the distant call of a puma echoing through the night. The wind sweeps across the grasslands, bending the tall grasses and carrying the songs of birds. In the distance, glaciers carve with a thunderous roar, sending ripples across the lakes below. Queulat National Park is a sanctuary of green, where the rainforest thrives in the constant mist and rain. Here, every surface is alive with moss, ferns, and the vibrant pulse of life. The forest is dense and primeval, a world where sunlight filters through a canopy of emerald leaves and the air is thick with the scent of earth and rain. After rainfall, the forest glistens with droplets, each leaf and branch sparkling in the soft light. The ecosystem here is rich and complex, home to countless species of plants, insects, and birds. The Ventisquero colgante, or hanging glacier, is a marvel of ice and time, suspended above the rainforest and feeding the rivers below with its ancient meltwater. Its meltwater plunges into a milky blue lagoon, nourishing the land and sustaining the intricate web of life that flourishes in this remote corner of the world. Along the Carretera Austral, the meeting of ice, forest, river and sky creates a landscape both surreal and sublime, a true testament to the untamed spirit of Patagonia. Deep within the Aysén region, the landscape is defined by dramatic geological artistry. Here, the marble caves, capillas de mármol, emerge from the crystalline waters of General Carrera Lake, their forms accessible only by traversing the lake's vast, glacial expanse. These formations are not traditional caves, but a labyrinth of marble tunnels and chambers, sculpted directly into a solid peninsula of calcium carbonate. Over millennia, the mineral-rich turquoise waters have steadily dissolved the marble, etching swirling corridors and smooth undulating walls that reflect the relentless patience of geological time. Sunbeams pierce the marble chambers, illuminating the stone with a cathedral-like glow, while the lake's surface shimmers with the interplay of light and water. Within these sculpted halls, the water's clarity reveals intricate patterns and subtle gradations of color, a testament to the mineral diversity locked within the marble. The glacial silt suspended in the lake's waters refracts sunlight, casting a luminous turquoise glow onto the cave ceilings and amplifying the natural palette of blues and greens. This interplay of light and mineral creates a dynamic, ever-shifting display with hues of blue, white and grey rippling across the marble's surface. The marble itself is streaked with veins of graphite, iron and other minerals, forming intricate stripes and whorls that chronicle the region's complex geological history. In the stillness of the caves, the only sounds are the gentle lapping of water and the distant calls of native birds echoing from the lake's shores. The atmosphere is otherworldly, as if the caves exist in a realm apart from the surrounding wilderness. General Carrera Lake, known as Lago Buenos Aires in Argentina, is a vast glacial basin, its waters fed by melt from the Patagonian icefield and ringed by snow-capped peaks. The lake's immense size and depth, combined with fierce Patagonian winds, create rapidly shifting conditions, sculpting the shoreline and influencing the region's microclimates. Along the lake's margins, resilient plant life clings to rocky outcrops, hardy shrubs, mosses and lichens, adapted to the harsh, windswept environment. These plants stabilize the soil and provide shelter for a variety of small mammals and insects, forming the foundation of a unique lakeside ecosystem. The glacial waters, rich in minerals, sustain aquatic life such as native fish and invertebrates, while overhead, Andean condors and black-necked swans glide on the wind currents. The ongoing process of erosion and deposition is visible in every curve and hollow of the marble, a living record of water's transformative power. Each layer of marble reveals a different epoch, with subtle color variations marking shifts in mineral content and environmental conditions over thousands of years. The caves are a testament to the slow, persistent forces of nature, water, wind and time, working in harmony to create forms of breathtaking beauty. In this remote corner of Aysén, the sculpted landscapes, resilient plant life and subtle animal behaviors together compose a living masterpiece, shaped by the patient artistry of the natural world. On the Argentinian side of Patagonia, the landscape transforms into a realm where ice and stone reign supreme, shaped by relentless natural forces over millennia. Los Glaciares National Park protects a significant portion of the southern Patagonian icefield, the third largest ice cap on Earth, where ancient glaciers flow outward in slow, powerful rivers of ice. These glaciers, some stretching for miles, are fed by the accumulation of centuries-old snow, compacted into dense blue ice that moves under its own immense weight. carving valleys and shaping the land. The constant crack and groan of shifting ice echo across the landscape as glaciers advance and retreat, grinding stone beneath them and leaving behind fields of shattered rock and polished bedrock. The terrain is littered with glacial erratics, enormous boulders transported and deposited by the ice, while striated rock surfaces bear the signature of relentless glacial abrasion. Moraines, ridges of rocky debris, trace the former paths of glaciers, while the ground itself is sculpted by freeze-thaw cycles, forming polygonal patterns and stone circles unique to these periglacial environments. As glaciers grind rock to a fine powder known as glacial flour, meltwater streams carry this sediment into lakes and rivers, giving the region's waters their striking turquoise hue and creating braided river systems across the plains. Icebergs, carved from the glacier fronts, drift across Lago Argentino, their surfaces sculpted by wind and water into fantastical shapes, glowing with an ethereal blue light. Beyond the ice, the steppe is dotted with wind-eroded stone towers and pinnacles, their layered forms revealing the geological history of Patagonia, from ancient seabeds to volcanic upheavals. Basalt columns and natural arches, remnants of volcanic activity, rise from glacial valleys, their surfaces weathered by centuries of wind, ice, and the slow colonization of hardy mosses and lichens. Frost action splits stone along natural fractures, creating scree slopes and talus fields at the base of sheer granite cliffs, while ice wedges drive ever deeper into the rock each winter. The iconic peaks of Fitz and Torres rise abruptly from the plains, their summits often shrouded in swirling clouds and coated in rime ice, sculpted by the fierce Patagonian winds into razor-sharp ridges and spires. Above, lenticular clouds form in the turbulent air, casting shifting patterns of light and shadow across the icy landscape, a testament to the dynamic interplay of wind, temperature, and topography. Glacial meltwater carves deep canyons and plunges over stone ledges, where in the coldest months waterfalls freeze in mid-air, creating intricate curtains of icicles that glisten in the pale Patagonian sun. In the quietest corners, snow blankets the valleys and frost coats every stone, transforming the landscape into a silent, crystalline world where the only movement is the wind and the slow, inexorable advance of the ice. Here, in Argentina's kingdom of ice and stone, the forces of nature are on full display, shaping, sculpting, and renewing the land in a never-ending cycle of creation and transformation. At the foot of these legendary mountains lies a rich tapestry of ecosystems, each teeming with life. The lenga forests, with their twisted trunks and dense canopy, provide a haven for a variety of plant species, from delicate ferns to vibrant wildflowers. Above, the skies are patrolled by the majestic Andean condor, whose nests cling to the rocky cliffs, high above the forest floor. In the open steppe, herds of guanacos graze, their keen eyes ever watchful for predators. The elusive puma, a master of stealth, prowls these lands, a silent guardian of the wilderness. Along the rivers, the torrent duck navigates the rapids with remarkable agility, feeding on aquatic insects and showcasing nature's adaptability. The weather here is as dynamic as the landscape, shifting from clear skies to stormy gales in mere moments. Rainstorms sweep across the peaks, nourishing the land and shaping the ecosystem. After the storms, rainbows often arch over the landscape, a fleeting reminder of nature's beauty. The Patagonian fox, with its keen senses, hunts in the underbrush, playing a crucial role in the food web. Birdsong fills the air, as a multitude of species find refuge and sustenance in this diverse habitat. The flora, from hardy shrubs to delicate blooms, paints the landscape with a palette of colors. Each element of this ecosystem, from the smallest insect to the towering peaks, is interconnected, creating a vibrant, living tapestry that is as resilient as it is beautiful. As the sun sets over Fitzroy, the wilderness settles into a tranquil rhythm, a testament to the enduring power of nature. Under the starlit sky, the ecosystems around Fitzroy continue their timeless dance, a symphony of life in one of the world's last great wildernesses. While the Andes Mountains define much of Patagonia, the region's Atlantic coast offers a completely different, yet equally wild, experience. Here, the dry, windswept steppe meets the ocean, creating a unique environment that is a haven for marine wildlife. The most important area for this is the Valdez Peninsula, a protected nature reserve and another of Patagonia's UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The low, arid landscape might seem barren at first glance, but it is the seasonal gathering place for an astonishing array of animals. This is where the giants of the Southern Ocean come to breed, feed, and raise their young, making it one of the best wildlife watching destinations in the world. From June to December, the sheltered gulfs around the peninsula become a nursery for southern right whales. These enormous, gentle creatures come here to give birth and can often be seen just a few meters from the shore, breaching and playing with their calves. The coastline is also home to massive colonies of sea lions and elephant seals, whose loud barks and groans fill the air. And patrolling the waters are the famous orcas of Valdez, known for their unique hunting technique of intentionally beaching themselves to catch unsuspecting sea lion pups. Witnessing this raw drama of the natural world unfold is a powerful and humbling experience. The gateway to the Valdez Peninsula is the city of Puerto Madryn. This coastal hub was founded in the 19th century by Welsh settlers who came to Patagonia seeking a place to preserve their language and culture. Traces of this Welsh heritage can still be found in the town's chapels and the names of some of its streets. Today, Puerto Madryn is a bustling center for marine research and wildlife tourism, a place where science and adventure meet. It provides the necessary infrastructure for visitors to explore the peninsula, while also promoting the conservation of this fragile and vital marine ecosystem. Further south, on the mainland side of the Andes, lies a quieter, more serene part of Argentinian Patagonia. Los Alerces National Park protects some of the last remaining ancient Alerce forests. The Alerce is a magnificent conifer species, similar to the giant sequoias of North America. These trees grow incredibly slowly and can live for thousands of years. The park is home to one individual, known as El Abuelo, or the grandfather, which is estimated to be over 3,600 years old, making it one of the oldest living things on the planet. Walking among these ancient giants, surrounded by the tranquility of clear glacial lakes and pristine forests, feels like stepping back in time. At the southernmost edge of South America, the Tierra del Fuego archipelago emerges as a realm sculpted by elemental forces, where wind and geology converge to create a landscape unlike any other. The region is dominated by the fierce westerly winds known as the roaring 40s and furious 50s, which sweep unimpeded across the Southern Ocean, shaping the land and climate with relentless intensity. The main island, Isla Grande de Tierra del Fuego, is defined by its dramatic landforms, the jagged peaks of the Cordillera Darwin, which descend sharply into the frigid waters of the Beagle Channel, and a labyrinth of fjords, glacial valleys, and deep inlets carved by ancient ice. Vast peat bogs, windswept steppes, and subpolar forests stretch across the archipelago, their forms moulded by centuries of ceaseless wind and cold. The endemic Lenga, Nothofagus pumilio, and Niere, Nothofagus antarctica trees are twisted and stunted, their branches permanently bent eastward, a living record of the prevailing westerlies. The climate is subpolar oceanic, marked by low temperatures, high humidity, and rapid weather shifts, with snow and sleet possible even in midsummer. The land is home to a remarkable array of endemic species, uniquely adapted to these harsh conditions. Tierra del Fuego National Park protects habitats for the Fuegian steamer duck, Tachieres teneris, a flightless bird found only in southernmost South America, and the Magellanic woodpecker, Campophyllus magellanicus, the largest woodpecker in the region. The park's peat bogs and forests also shelter the endemic Fuegian fox, Lycalopex culpaeus lacoides, and the rare Patagonian Sierra finch, Frigilus patagonicus, while the coastal waters teem with southern river otters and marine birds. The landforms themselves are a testament to geological upheaval. The Andes taper into rugged ridges, while glacial moraines and erratic boulders dot the tundra, evidence of the last ice age's retreat. Beyond the land, the Beagle Channel and surrounding seas are rich with kelp forests and support populations of South American sea lions, Peale's dolphins and migratory seabirds, all thriving in the nutrient-rich wind-driven currents. In Tierra del Fuego, the interplay of wind, water, and stone has forged a wild, untamed environment, one of the last true frontiers where nature's forces remain supreme and the unique flora and fauna endure against the elements. Patagonia's wilderness is a living testament to the enduring power of nature, an immense, untamed expanse where resilience is woven into every landscape and life form. Here, ancient forests of lenga and near trees stand defiant against relentless winds, their roots gripping the earth through centuries of storms and droughts. The guanaco, Patagonia's iconic wild camelid, roams the steppe in tight-knit herds, perfectly adapted to the harsh open terrain and the scarcity of water. Above, the Andean condor rides invisible thermals, its vast wingspan a symbol of freedom and survival in a land where only the most resilient endure. The elusive puma, apex predator of these wilds, moves silently through the shadows, its presence vital to the balance of the ecosystem. Rare species like the Magellanic woodpecker and Darwin's rhea thrive here, each uniquely evolved to survive Patagonia's extremes. Wetlands and lagoons provide sanctuary for black-necked swans and countless migratory birds. Their annual journeys are testament to the cycles of life that pulse through this land. The seasons bring dramatic transformation. Autumn ignites the forests in fiery colour, while spring breathes new life into the steppe, carpeting it with wildflowers after the rains. Glaciers, ancient and immense, shape the land with every carving, their meltwaters feeding rivers and lakes that sustain the region's biodiversity. Even the smallest creatures, from the agile Patagonian fox to the armored armadillo, have carved out niches in this demanding environment, each playing a role in the intricate web of life. The weather itself is a force of nature. Storms sweep across the plains, rainbows follow in their wake, and the land endures, ever-changing yet eternal. Rare wildflowers and resilient mosses cling to life in the most unlikely places, their persistence a quiet celebration of survival. Rivers carve their way through valleys, supporting fish like the native Patagonian salmon, whose life cycles are intertwined with the rhythms of the land and water. From the first light of dawn to the hush of nightfall, Patagonia's wilderness endures, resilient, wild, and profoundly alive. In this land, the spirit of endurance is written in every stone, every living thing, and every cycle of renewal, reminding us that true wilderness is both fragile and fierce, and that its legacy is one of hope and resilience for generations to come. Beyond the jagged peaks and icy rivers lies the Patagonian steppe, a vast, windswept plain that stretches to the horizon, its silence broken only by the whisper of grass in the relentless wind. This land, shaped by centuries of arid climate and fierce sun, is a tapestry of golden and silver grasses, their tough blades bending but never breaking. Here cushion plants huddle low to the ground, their compact forms an ingenious adaptation to conserve precious moisture and withstand the chill of night. The steppe is a realm of extremes where rainfall is scarce and the temperature can swing wildly from scorching days to frost-laced nights, yet life endures. Agile Mara, resembling oversized hares bound across the open ground, always alert for danger. The Patagonian armadillo, armored and methodical, digs for insects beneath the stony soil. Herds of guanacos graze on wiry grasses, their coats blending perfectly with the muted palette of the land. Overhead, The southern crested Carretera scans for movement, an opportunist thriving in the open expanse. Tiny burrowing owls stand sentinel at the entrances of their underground homes, their sharp eyes missing nothing. Even the plants are survivors. Spiny caliphate bushes bear tart blue berries, a vital food source for birds and mammals alike. In this rugged ecosystem, every life form is intricately attuned to scarcity and struggle. The steppe's beauty is subtle, a shimmer of heat on the horizon, the intricate patterns of lichen on ancient stones, the resilience of wildflowers that bloom only after rare rains. Here, survival is a quiet triumph, and the spirit of Patagonia is etched into every blade of grass and every creature that calls the steppe home. Scattered across the Patagonian wilds lie the glacial lakes, ancient basins carved by the slow, relentless movement of ice. In the wake of retreating glaciers, deep valleys filled with meltwater, creating some of the most striking lakes on Earth. Each one is a living mirror, reflecting the sky and mountains, yet revealing its own unique character. Their colors are a spectacle of nature's artistry. In some, the water glows an impossible turquoise, the result of sunlight scattering off fine rock flour suspended in the depths. Others shimmer in shades of emerald or sapphire, their hues shifting with the weather and the angle of the sun. Along quiet shores, the water turns glassy and clear, revealing smooth stones and submerged logs, silent witnesses to millennia of change. Beneath these luminous surfaces, life thrives in surprising abundance. Schools of native perch and silvery puyen dart through the cold water, navigating forests of aquatic plants that sway gently with the currents. At the water's edge, reed beds shelter tiny crustaceans and snails, while rainbow-hued dragonflies skim the surface hunting for prey. In the shallows, amphibians lay their eggs among tangled roots, their tadpoles an essential link in the lake's food web. Overhead, grebes and steamer ducks dive in pursuit of fish, while black-necked swans glide serenely, their reflections trailing across the still water. Each glacial lake is a world unto itself, a dynamic ecosystem shaped by the legacy of ice, the chemistry of stone, and the endless cycle of seasons. Here, the pulse of Patagonia is measured in ripples and reflections, in the silent persistence of life beneath the surface, and in the ever-changing colors of water born from the heart of the mountains. Above the wind-carved peaks and sweeping valleys of Patagonia, shadows drift across the land, vast, silent, and regal. The Andean condor, with wings spanning over 10 feet, reigns supreme in these boundless skies. Catching thermals rising from the cliffs, these masters of flight glide effortlessly for hours, their black and white plumage stark against the endless blue. With keen eyes they scan the rugged terrain far below, searching for carrion, nature's way of recycling life itself. The condor is more than a scavenger. It is a keystone of the Patagonian ecosystem. By consuming what others leave behind, it keeps the landscape clean and disease-free, helping to maintain the delicate balance of the wild. Alongside the condor, other winged icons shape the rhythm of Patagonia. The Carretera, bold and curious, stalks the steppes and riverbanks, its sharp beak probing for insects and small prey. The Austral parakeet flashes through southern forests in noisy emerald flocks, a burst of color among ancient trees. Even in the most remote corners, the echoing call of the Magellanic woodpecker rings through towering beech forests. Clinging to weathered trunks, these striking black and crimson birds chip away at bark in search of hidden grubs. On the coastal cliffs, colonies of imperial cormorants and kelp gulls gather, braving the relentless wind and surf. Their cries mingle with the roar of the ocean, a chorus of wildness at the edge of the world. Each bird, from the smallest wren to the mighty condor, plays a vital role in the tapestry of Patagonian life. Their presence is a testament to the resilience of nature, soaring above a land where wind, stone, and sky meet in timeless embrace. Beneath the shroud of southern mists where the mountains plunge into the restless sea, lies a hidden world, the Patagonian fjords. These ancient waterways carve deep into the heart of the land, their origins etched by the relentless advance and retreat of colossal glaciers over millions of years. Towering walls of granite and lush, moss-clad forests rise abruptly from the water's edge, their reflections shimmering on the glassy surface below. Here, saltwater fingers reach far inland, mingling with the icy runoff from snowmelt and waterfalls that tumble from unseen heights. The fjords are a sanctuary for life, both strange and spectacular. In these nutrient-rich depths, forests of giant kelp sway in the currents, sheltering a vibrant community of marine creatures. Schools of silverfish dart between the fronds, while sea lions slip silently through the shadows, ever watchful for the flash of a hunting dolphin or the silent approach of an orca. Above the waterline, the cliffs provide nesting grounds for seabirds, their cries echoing across the stillness. In the quiet coves, southern river otters weave through tangled roots, hunting for crabs and shellfish in the brackish shallows. Every tide brings new stories, as ocean and land embrace in a dance of creation and erosion. The Patagonian fjords are not merely channels, they are living corridors, shaped by ice and tide, where the resilience of life is written in every ripple and stone. In this silent labyrinth, the boundary between earth and ocean dissolves, and the wild heart of Patagonia beats in time with the turning of the sea. Across the sweeping wilds of Patagonia, time is measured not by clocks, but by the shifting moods of the land and sky. As winter loosens its icy grip, the first blush of spring stirs the steppe and forest alike. Bare lenga trees burst into new leaf, while carpets of wildflowers, violets, orchids, and fiery notros paint the valleys in colour. Guanacos, once clustered against the cold, now graze on fresh greenery, their young leaping awkwardly in the warming sun. Summer brings abundance. Rivers swollen with meltwater rush through canyons, and the air hums with insects. Flamingos gather in mirrored lagoons, while Andean condors ride thermals high above, searching for the spoor of prey. Penguins return to rocky beaches, their calls mingling with the crash of surf as they tend to fluffy chicks beneath the watchful gaze of skuas. But the wheel turns ever onward. Autumn cloaks the forests in gold and crimson, and the wind grows restless. Fuegian foxes fatten on berries and rodents, preparing for leaner times. The great herds of guanacos drift to sheltered valleys, and pumas move silently through lengthening shadows, adapting their hunts to the changing light. With winter's return, snow sweeps down from the peaks, blanketing the land in silence. Many birds depart for warmer skies, while hardy species, like the Magellanic woodpecker, remain, tapping for insects beneath the bark. In the icy rivers, trout slow their movements, conserving energy until the thaw. So, life persists, cycling through hardship and bounty, each species attuned to the subtle signals of sun and storm. In Patagonia, adaptation is a constant dance, a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of all who call this wild frontier home. Beneath Patagonia's windswept plains and snow-clad peaks, ancient forces rumble in the deep. Here, a chain of volcanoes marks the restless edge of continents, a realm where fire has shaped the land for millennia. From the jagged silhouette of Lanín to the smouldering cone of Villarrica, these volcanic sentinels rise abruptly from forests and steppes, their flanks cloaked in ash and ice. At their feet, the earth is transformed. Lava flows have carved labyrinths of basalt, while eruptions have left crater lakes that shimmer with turquoise and emerald hues. In these volcanic soils, life finds a foothold. Lenga and koihu trees root deep, their leaves nourished by minerals brought forth from the underworld. Mosses and lichens creep across blackened rock, pioneers in a landscape always on the brink of renewal. Steaming fumaroles and hidden hot springs create pockets of warmth in the chill air, drawing clusters of insects, frogs, and hardy plants. Rare orchids bloom in the shelter of cooled lava fields, their colors vivid against the dark stone. In the forests, woodpeckers and owls nest in trees scarred by past eruptions, while foxes and pudoos slip through the undergrowth. each species adapted to a world where change can come in a single violent moment. Even the rivers bear the mark of fire, their waters tinged with minerals, their courses redirected by ancient flows. In this volatile mosaic, life persists, resilient, inventive, ever attuned to the deep hidden rhythms of the earth. Patagonia's volcanic regions are a testament to nature's power to destroy and create, forging islands of diversity and wonder at the fiery heart of the wild. In the vast tapestry of Patagonia, emerald veins thread quietly through the land. Its wetlands, these marshes, lagoons, and peat bogs form hidden sanctuaries, pulsing with life amid the windswept steppes and craggy mountains. Here, water is the architect, sculpting a world of reflection and abundance. Reeds sway in the breeze, their stems sheltering delicate dragonflies and secretive marsh birds. At dawn, the silence is broken by the calls of black-necked swans and the flutter of coscaroba wings as clouds of waterfowl rise in shimmering flocks. The wetlands are a haven for the endangered hooded grebe, whose elaborate courtship dances ripple across mirror-like ponds. Beneath the surface, amphibians and fish thrive in the mineral-rich waters, while rare orchids and carnivorous plants cling to floating mats of moss. Every year, these flooded meadows become a vital crossroads for migratory species. Flamingos journey from the high Andes, and sandpipers arrive from distant Arctic shores, drawn by the promise of food and shelter. In this watery labyrinth, life moves in cycles of abundance and scarcity, shaped by the gentle flooding of spring and the icy grip of winter. Frogs chorus at twilight, and herds of guanacos come to drink, their reflections merging with the sky. Patagonia's wetlands are more than a refuge. They are the beating heart of the wild, sustaining a network of creatures large and small. Here, the rhythm of migration and the persistence of native life echo in every ripple, a testament to the quiet resilience and interconnectedness of nature's most delicate realms. Beneath Patagonia's rugged surface, where wind and ice reign above, lies a world untouched by sunlight, a realm of shadow and stone. Here time carves its legacy in silence. Water, seeping through ancient limestone, has sculpted vast caverns and winding tunnels over millennia. Underground rivers pulse through the darkness, their currents echoing softly against walls adorned with crystalline formations and glimmering mineral veils. In these hidden chambers, rare life persists against all odds. Blind cavefish, pale and ghostly, navigate by touch and vibration, their eyes lost to evolution's patient hand. Tiny amphipods scuttle over damp rocks, feeding on the nutrients brought by the gentle flow. Delicate ferns and luminous fungi cling to the moist cave walls, thriving in perpetual twilight. The silence is broken only by the dripping of water and the flutter of unseen wings. Some caverns shelter unique species of bats, their colonies hanging in silent harmony, playing a vital role in this fragile ecosystem. Deep pools mirror the vaulted ceilings above, creating a world where above and below blend into one. These subterranean labyrinths are a sanctuary for life forms found nowhere else on Earth, testaments to adaptation and endurance. Here every drop, every stone, and every living creature bears witness to the hidden wonders of Patagonia, where nature's creativity is as boundless below ground as it is above. As daylight retreats behind the jagged horizon, Patagonia's vast wilderness transforms beneath the sweep of night. Here, far from city lights and restless roads, the heavens unveil their full majesty. A boundless black canvas, dusted with a million stars. The Southern Cross glimmers with unwavering clarity, guiding travelers of old and silent creatures below. The Magellanic Clouds, satellite galaxies adrift in the southern sky, shimmer like wisps of cosmic mist, their presence a gentle reminder of the universe's immensity. Above the steppes and windswept peaks, the Milky Way arches in luminous splendor, a river of stardust stretching from mountain to sea. Shooting stars streak silently across the velvet expanse, while, at rare moments, the southern auroras paint the night in ethereal ribbons of green and purple, swirling above glaciers and forests untouched by time. The wild solitude amplifies every celestial wonder. The hush of the landscape, broken only by the distant call of an owl or the sigh of the wind, creates a sanctuary for stargazing unlike any other. Here, the sky feels closer, each constellation sharp, each nebula glowing with ancient light. In Patagonia, the wilderness and the cosmos converge, revealing a nocturnal spectacle that inspires awe, reflection, and the quiet certainty that we are all part of something vast and eternal. Beneath the towering peaks and infinite sky, a quieter world thrives, one often overlooked, yet essential to Patagonia's wild balance. Here, mosses, lichens, and fungi weave a living tapestry across stone, soil, and ancient wood. Tiny emerald cushions of moss blanket the forest floor, capturing precious moisture from mist and rain. Their velvety surfaces cradle the first rays of dawn, sheltering seedlings and providing refuge for insects and frogs. Lichens, delicate yet resilient, cling to wind-battered rocks and gnarled tree trunks, painting the landscape with splashes of silver, lime, and ochre. These remarkable symbiotic organisms draw sustenance from air and light, surviving where little else can, and quietly purify the atmosphere with every breath. Hidden beneath fallen leaves and tangled roots, Patagonia's fungi form invisible networks, mycelial threads that stitch the earth together. Some erupt in bursts of color after the rains, their fragile caps rising like tiny lanterns on the forest floor. Others work in secret, breaking down dead wood and leaf litter, recycling nutrients back into the soil. Together, these humble life forms sustain the ecosystem, nurturing the forests, grasslands, and steppes from below. They are the silent architects of resilience, adapting to frost, drought, and wind with ingenious strategies honed over millennia. In Patagonia, even the smallest things hold the power to shape worlds, a secret kingdom thriving in the shadows, vital and enduring.